This episode of Muddy River Gems is brought to you by Dot Foods.
I think what it comes down to is the culture and the people.
Our culture here at Dot is like no other. I've never experienced anything like what I've lived with for the last 12 years.
Dot is very diverse.
It is truly a family-owned business, but it is a family inside and out.
You always feel like you matter and you play a big hand in the pot.
There's so many opportunities to make a difference at Dot and really contribute to the success of the organization.
At the Air Combat Museum in Springfield, they searched the earth for historic planes to add to their world-class museum. On this edition of Muddy River Gems, brought to you by Dot Foods, take a look with us. Mike, George, for the last 35 years or so,
yes,
you've been operating this Air Combat Museum.
We started in '89.
In '89 at Springfield Capitol Airport.
Correct.
And it's gotten bigger and bigger. And the kick about all this is that I find so interesting is that all of these planes that we're going to see today, they're all airworthy, aren't they?
They all fly, or
Yeah.
will. The projects that come in here on a truck may take a few years, but they will fly.
Yeah. You must scour the world
I do.
for these things.
Yep.
And how do you learn where they are and what if you want a particular plane, how do you find it?
Well, in my phone, there's 1,500 names to keep track of everybody. So it's almost all word of mouth. If it's advertised, it's probably not one you want. If it's not, get a good one, it's word of mouth and people you know. And so I just keep track of that. But a lot of these seem to have come from California, but all over. We just came back with 3 projects from near Kansas City. So,
when you first started, you were just warplanes, right? Air
Right.
combat planes.
Yes.
You've expanded that now. There are all
Right.
kinds of planes in here.
yes, everything from 1928 to 1996, but most of them are 40s, from the 1940s. So the difference in cost is tremendous. So for the warplanes, so we're limited on how many of those I could get in my lifetime.
Can we start by
Sure.
taking a look over here?
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, I and probably many of our viewers don't know anything about these
Right.
planes, okay? So start us off at the beginning.
So this is a P-51 Mustang. This is widely regarded as the airplane that pretty much helped to win World War II. And the reason we say that is our loss rate was super high with the bombers. If you remember the movie Memphis Belle, that was the first B-17 bomber to make it to 25 missions. And that took over a year, I believe. So people keep forgetting that in the beginning of the war after Pearl Harbor and then we entered war in Europe, we were losing. We were losing the war. So what happened is you could see the streamlined inline engine. That is very much more efficient. So when the B-17s would go over to bomb the Germans, the fighters would go about halfway. They'd have enough fuel to get home. And so the bombers would be left by themselves and the Germans would come up and shoot them down. So where we had our highest ace was Richard Bong with 40 kills. Germany had many over 300.
Wow.
Yeah. So if they got shot down, they parachuted down, they got in another airplane, went back up. They also didn't rotate home. They flew until they died. So the Mustang is much more efficient. It's a lot faster and it burns less gas. And it was the first airplane that was able to go all the way to bomb the enemy in Germany or France, depending on where they were at the time.
So it turned things around pretty much, didn't it, for
Right.
us? Yeah.
Yes.
What's this beauty right here?
Well, that is a World War II design Corsair. So if you remember the show Baba Black Sheep, this is a Corsair.
Oh.
And you can see the size difference. This one has 2,300 horsepower, where the Mustang has 1,500. And you can see the difference in the cowling, where the round engine is not as efficient. So where the Mustang up high can get down to, in the war, 45 gallons an hour, this is 80 gallons an hour. And it doesn't hold as much. Or it holds about the same, but you're not, it's 30 knots slower.
Your planes here are in gorgeous condition.
Thank you.
But you work on these, and you have a crew that works on these, so they don't come in like this.
No, no.
You have to make them look like this.
The Mustang was an award winner in '84, but everything's changed. We went in and added the drop tanks. We added all the markings and the oxygen system, the tail warning radar. That airplane is very correct. When you pull the trigger on the stick, the solenoids for the guns that are aluminum, they work. And the gun sight works and everything. So that's what the difference between 1984 winner and a current winner.
Take us around to another one. Show us
All
something
right.
else.
So
This is great.
this is a T-34 Mentor. It was built in 1955. And it originally had 225 horse. It now has 300 horse. And we built this here, and we've won 2 awards with it. So one in '95, and the other one a couple years
When
later.
you say built it, you mean you got the parts?
This came on a
as
truck.
parts.
No, the wings were off. The glass was non-existent. All the rubber had to be replaced. The engine was replaced.
And you do all that here?
Yes. Yeah. We've been doing that since '89, and. So this airplane was totally rebuilt. It has a glass cockpit, so it's all modernized. Autopilot, and this is well known for doing everything well. So it does great aerobatics, great formation. It's fast, 178 knots. It's super easy to fly, and that's why in the military it only lasted a couple years. It was too easy. Yeah, it was too easy to fly. So very, very significant airplane. Cessna 150, we built this here too. We painted it, we built the engine here, we did the avionics, we did the interior, we did everything. And this, 3 years ago, it won Best 150 at Oshkosh, which is the big air show. And
now this was not a warplane though. This is not a passenger plane, but
this is a trainer from 1969. And it is probably the most popular trainer. It's in the running with 1 or 2 others. And it's pretty.
It is pretty.
Chipmunk?
Is that
a
the red one?
British trainer. A military trainer made in England and Canada. And everything goes backwards. You can tell the propeller goes backwards. Some of the systems are really crazy, but it's fine. Flies, it's well known for one of the best flying airplanes there is, and that's true.
What's the vintage on this? When
51, I think.
51?
Yes.
And it's called a Chipmunk.
Chipmunk. British.
And everything goes backwards.
Yes, the engine goes backwards. It's got a crazy magneto system. The brakes are really silly. But it's a really good flying airplane. With 200 horsepower, it's very underpowered, but it does great.
I want to show something you all are working on, because we were just talking about what your crew does here, and this is a fascinating piece, because this is a replica of a really old plane, right?
1917 Sopwith Camel.
And people might know that from the Snoopy character, right?
Right. That's why we have Snoopy on and then we have the Red Baron above it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Coming down on it.
And we have the engine that goes on that and the propeller, and that's next to put.
You're gonna put that back together.
It's sitting
the
over
Red
there.
Baron.
It came from the movie Flyboys.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's where it came from.
Okay, and you say that the parts are right over
Yeah, you can see
against the
them.
wall. Okay.
See the engine? It's got a cylinder off. It's sitting right in front of the Saladin.
Yep.
And then the propeller's over there.
So you're presently working on
It's
that.
the round engine down here. Yep.
In fact, you have a young lady here that does the fabric
My
work
daughter.
on your daughter,
Yep.
and she's working on another project
Yep.
right now. But she put the sop with camel together,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And what are these pieces for?
1958 Saladin. It's a British armored car, and believe it or not, its job was to go in front of the columns and get shot at, and then tell them what's shooting at them.
Oh man!
And you can see the smoke grenades up front right there. Yeah, you got them.
Yep.
That would help them to get away. So,
Okay.
not a job I would
That would
want.
conceal them, I
Yes.
guess, right? Okay, like
Yep.
a smoke.
1943 half track, so you can see its tracks in the back and regular tires in the front. This was used in World War II. Then it went to Israel. So I don't think they were allowed to have them, but they got them. And in 1984 it came back, and then we restored it. Funny story, the guy that helped me paint it, he kept calling me. He says, "Mike, my drill bits, I keep busting drill bits." And I said, "Tommy, armor plate?" So he had to go buy, instead of a $2 drill bit, he had to buy an $80 drill bit to get through
Did it
the
get
armor
through?
plate.
Did
Yeah,
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
So-
use this for anything?
Yep. These have both been to McDonald's drive-up, and they're street legal.
They are? Okay.
Yeah, they both weigh about 22,000 pounds.
Is it fun to take out? I mean, people
It
get really
drives like the worst truck you've ever driven. 45 is too fast.
Yeah.
So, and this one here can actually, you could blow any two wheels off and it can still go 45 miles an hour. And the front wheels turn and the middle wheels turn.
But this is not street legal.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
Both of them are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Allie, we talked with your dad about he has this crew of people here who know what they're doing to build these planes, rebuild them, bring them back to life, put wings on them, put the engines on.
Right.
One of the things that you'll try to do here is make sure that you put the material, which at one time might have been linen or some other sort of material, but now they make it out of something like polyester, and that's what you're doing.
Yes.
What? Tell me the trick to getting this all tight, to get this to fit.
So you just glue it down with a special type of glue, and then actually this is a very unique concept, because instead of rib stitching with string, you put welding rod right here.
Welding rod.
Yep. And then
And you can actually see that through there, can you? Okay.
that's the channel that it fits in. And then that kind of initially tightens the fabric, and then you take a very hot iron up to 350 degrees, and you tighten the rest of it, and that shrinks everything. And then you put on, I call it pink stuff, but it's basically like a glue that seals
Yeah.
all the fibers together.
It smells like that.
Yes.
And can I touch this?
Of course.
Okay, because you can see this is how tight that is. It's like a drum, isn't it?
Yes.
What part of their airplane is this? Where's this going to
This
go?
is the rudder, so
Oh.
it goes on the rear of the aircraft. on
of
the
this
tail.
one here, the
Yes.
P-40.
Yes.
Okay, and that's what we're working on. This is a work in progress, and this is a very significant plane. We're going to talk to your dad about
Yes,
this plane.
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course.
Mike, we were just talking about the P-40, and you say this is a really significant plane. This is going to be important.
So the P-40 was one of our main fighters when we got attacked at Pearl Harbor, and they destroyed almost all of them. Those were the earlier models. This is a P-40N, and this is the latest model, built in 1944. It crashed in Italy in 44. It was shot down. The oil tank got a hole in it, or the coolant tank got a hole in it. And when that happens, you have about 60 seconds before the engine quits. So anyway, everything pretty much is new on it. Obviously the castings are original, but all the sheet metal's new. There's a gun up there because they're working on putting a gun relay in. So we do these very accurate. So you'll never see the gun relay, but there'll be a gun relay in there to
When do you anticipate this job being finished?
Well, I've been saying 2 years for 4.
Okay, it's not going to happen overnight.
I've talked to, so we've done many airplanes. They take 13, but we put that's on and off. But we've got 3 people on it. There's 2 at a retirement party right now. So I think less than a year, because the hydraulics are pretty much done. All the instruments are done. The wire, he's working on the wiring. And both those guys are named Chris. So I called Chris earlier and they both said yes.
Chris is working on it.
Yes.
Chris is working on it. Will you be the first one to take this up when it's done?
I don't know. There's a really high-time guy in the Carolinas that I might have. He's the one that checked me out in it. So I've flown 2 of them. And I've flown 115 types, and this is number 1. By far, and everybody says that.
I don't know how you could let anybody else take it up first.
Yeah.
I would just feel like I had to do it.
So some of these I take them up first, and some of them I hire or have a friend do it that's got more experience. They're professional. They fly every day. They don't have a job and then fly when they're off work. So I'll probably have him do it because of the value of the aircraft. But it's a phenomenal airplane. It's very fun to fly, and all of these have really, really taken off in value because they're not making them anymore.
Right.
So,
and when you find them, it's such a labor-heavy thing to bring them back. I mean,
this
not
is
everybody
probably
can do
before we got it. We've had it about 4 years, and before we got it, it'd probably been worked on for 5.
Yeah.
So 10 to 15 years is normal, and because we're putting so many people on it, I think we'll be done sooner.
Yeah.
So you can see the cowling there and the drop tank, and little things like the drop tank was obviously dropped and it's got huge dents. So finding somebody willing to take the dents out, 3 people have already said no, and I got a guy who's going to do it. We're preparing that for him to pull the dents out.
Good.
And then we had to have the guns made. I drove to California to pick them up. The radiators
And that's what's on top of the wing there? That's one of the guns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was installed, but they're like I said, they're putting the relay that makes the guns fire, which is the silver thing on the side. So we'll hook that up and it'll work.
Hey, take a walk with me over
Sure.
here. Because there's one here that's also under construction.
Yeah.
And it's kind of neat to see this because you don't get to see a plane that's just a skeleton very often. What do we got?
So this is an Aerodrome Airplanes Newport 28 from 1917. It's a replica, and it was designed by a guy named Robert Basley in Holden, Missouri. And they're just really phenomenal airplanes. So in the kit building world, a kit is 60 to 200,000. These are like 12 for the kit, $12,000. And they're very, very easy to build, very fast. For the movie Flyboys, he built 7 of them in 3 months. And so this was a French-built fighter that we used in World War I.
World War I.
Yep. And so it's built differently. It's not wood. It's made out of metal, and it's much stronger. I mean, it is crazy strong. And so this is waiting its turn to be covered by my daughter. And we've been working on it off and on when we get stuck on something else.
Can we keep going that way?
So
that's a beautiful piece.
We built this here it came in on a truck. We reskinned all the metal. This is a PT-22.
Look at that shine.
Yep.
Isn't that beautiful?
And that's actually, it needs to be shined again. So this is one of our trainers in World War II, and it's a really good flying airplane, but it is some really, really dangerous characteristics.
Oh, yeah?
So if you stall it, you could spin and die. And Harrison Ford had one of these, and he crashed it because the engine quit, and he did a phenomenal job. This is the only airplane that I've ever heard of where if you lose the engine, you have to go faster than you were flying. Whereas most airplanes, you're flying at 150 knots and engine out is 80 or 90 knots. This is you fly at 100 and engine out's 105. So a lot of guys don't do that and they get hurt. So it was a flunk out airplane in the war. So it was a trainer, it was a flunk out airplane. If you couldn't handle it, then
You weren't going to go up in the other one.
Or you, something happened to you.
Yeah.
So we had a guy do the center section of the engine, and we did the rest of the engine. But everything you see here is new or rebuilt. The props new, the flying wires are new, I believe. The fabric, we did all that here. We painted it, everything.
Beautiful.
So the next airplane is a Fleet Model 9. There's only 2 in the world that are flying. And this one's 1931, and this was a sport plane in 1931. So this is what you'd fly, for fun. And it could be a trainer as well. And we did what's called resto mod. So the exhaust is something we designed here. The intake you see right there is something we designed. It's Art Deco. So you can see the Javelin is made like a little bomb right there. That's the Javelin.
Oh, yeah.
And the exhaust we designed here and built here. It never had a spinner. We did that. All the sheet metal is new. We had to build it because it didn't have it. So this, I think, that last flew before we got it in the 50s. It was taken apart, I think, in 56. The PT-22 crashed in 1957, and we flew it about 12 years ago. It actually crashed on my birthday before I was born. I wasn't born in 57. And then these are a lot of people ask about the Allison and the Merlin and the Mustang. So there's the Allison for the P-40 on the left and the Merlin spare for the Mustang on the right.
We'll be back with more from the Air Combat Museum in Springfield on Muddy River Gems, brought to you by Dot Foods.
From our trucks to their lunch trays, to your local hospital, to your favorite pub, and to your kitchen table. For more than 60 years, Dot Foods and Dot Transportation have been stocking the shelves of your hometown. Sure, we've grown a lot, but at our core, we're still small-town, family-run businesses that care about our communities and the people who keep us running. Join the Dot family today and be part of something bigger.
Why work at Dot?
You could list out individual qualities forever.
There's a lot of opportunities.
They take care of the employees, they take care of the community.
So our pay, our benefits, it's competitive. Time off, tons of flexibility.
They're willing to work with you to help you advance.
Well, Mike, we're kind of running out of time, but these 2 warplanes here, we got to see these, don't we?
Yep. Yeah. So 1928 Stearman C3R.
That's this one over here,
yes,
right? Okay.
And this was actually, if you wanted to fly from Chicago to St. Louis on an airline in 1928, this would be one of your options. This one was restored maybe 20 years ago. And so the person who restored this was actually the owner of the fabric my daughter's putting on the airplane, polyfiber. He owned it at the time, and this was their plane that they have on all their pictures. And there's only about 11 of these. This, I think I told you I flew 115 types. The P-40 was the best. That's the worst.
Is that right?
Oh.
You mean the most difficult?
No, it's easy to fly, but if it gets upset in the wind, it takes 2 hands to straighten it. And then you can't use the brakes on landing because it starts wiggling on you. So it's because the weight is so high. And with the tail wheel and the 30x5s, which those are Model A wheels and tires, they're similar to it, car. And you'll find that of this vintage, a lot of these parts are from cars. The Stinson we have in the other hangar, it's roll-up windows from a car. And so this is what would be an airline. So 2 people in front and a pilot in the back.
What about this one here?
So this is one of one.
This is the only one?
Only one. It's a Krautzer air coach. And this holds 6 people. And this was both of them were either business planes or airliners. You could see the name on the side is airline. And 3 engines. You start them by hand. They had a rudimentary starter back in the day, but we removed it because it caused an engine failure. And this took 1 year to get from California to here because it kept breaking and breaking and breaking. So they made, I think, 25. This one was in Mexico hauling mine parts.
My goodness.
The forest, a guy out of Minnesota found it and had it restored.
The only one in existence. You're not going to find parts anywhere
no,
for this, unfortunately.
You'd have to make them. So
oh, goodness.
The Stinson we have in the other building, the guy had a fuselage. That was it. He made the rest, which is not uncommon. So like I said earlier, some of the parts are made of unobtainium, and we have to make them. A lot of parts we have to make.
Well, you know, you say that, and you have a machine shop here, and I'd kind of like to just take a look at it.
Sure.
Can we do that?
Yes.
Okay.
You bet.
Well, Mike, this is sort of, when you say you have to build it, this is where the parts get built, right? And this is you've got every sort of machine piece of equipment in here that you could, drills and Bridgeport and a number of things in here that you can use to fabricate.
So the things that are used the most is the bandsaw and the sander, and then we've got a sheet metal brake over there that cuts the sheet metal, and then this is what we use to bend it. We have a roller over here, and another sander, and a shrinker stretcher, and grinders, and everything we need. We use the lathe quite a bit. And then, of course, the blast cabinet, that's a bead blaster that cleans the paint off.
Sort of like a sandblasting machine?
Yeah,
sort of?
but it's beads. So sandblaster would go through the aluminum.
Okay, so it's gentler.
Yeah, it's plastic beads. And then we do everything. We maintain our batteries here. And we build everything. So this is an example of a young man named Joseph built this.
He works for you.
Yeah. He's 22 years old, and this is a trim tab for a P-40. And he built everything except this piece we had machined by somebody.
And what was the trim tab do on the plane?
This is what neutralizes the control forces when you're flying. So it moves up or down, and then it makes it so that your stick, you're not holding pressure on it to fly straight and level. And this will be painted, obviously. So all these will be painted. And this is going on a World War II fighter.
Yeah, this is the P-40, right?
Right.
Yeah, and we talked about that and we showed that.
Yeah.
I think we took a look in the cockpit as well.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, thank you so much.
Sure.
This has been a real pleasure, a real eye-opener. I think people are going to be just fascinated by the fact that this collection is here. And actually, you might also be interested to know that not only is it here at Abraham Lincoln Springfield Capital Airport, but the Air Combat Museum is open Monday through Friday to the public from 8:30 to 4:30 every day, and they would welcome you with open arms if you wanted to come in and take a look at the collection. Thank you for watching Muddy River Gems, brought to you by Dot Foods. I'm Mark McDonald. See you later.
This episode of Muddy River Gems was brought to you by Dot Foods.